Hi, my name is Mary Ellen, and I have been asked by these lovely ladies to tell you why I think you should change to a T.A.B classroom. But I'm not really telling you what to do. I don't want to tell you what to do. No one should tell you what to do. But what I'm asking you to do is to gather all this information from these ladies in this workshop and to think about your practice, to really look at it, stand back from it and look at it. When I started T.A.B, no one was doing it, and it was really hard for me because I didn't have anything to go by. But I did know this. I knew that I was questioning things. Now, I've been teaching for a long time. I taught at an easy school, and I've taught at a very difficult school. I taught from a cart, from the floor. I had money, I had no money. But in my last school, life was great, and I had no reason to change my curriculum. Other than that, I started really kind of looking at my kids' artwork in a little more critical way. And I would think, if they would have just done a little more of this or a little more of that, I wonder what that would look like. And I thought, I know that's wrong. I'm looking at product. And then I had a little girl, and she came in my classroom, and she was normally this very quiet little girl, and she was so excited because she had made something at home, and she wanted to show everybody. And I said, sure. I said, yeah, that's great. So she comes in, and she's got this bird that she created, and it was out of a soda bottle, and she had feathers and wings, all this stuff. And she was so excited she could barely speak. And then she showed us that when her arm went up and down, it fit on her arm, and when her arm went up and down, it flew. So I thought, why isn't she as excited for the projects that I'm teaching her? I'm thinking, what she's doing is something really exciting. So I began to wonder, and I began to wonder about myself. So I thought, what exactly do I believe? What do I believe? I mean, I've been teaching all these years. What really do I believe? Because if you're spending time with kids and working every day, my time, what I'm doing has got to be important. It's got to be meaningful. So I sat down and I thought, I want my teaching practice to mirror my beliefs. So what do I believe now? Your beliefs should change. Your beliefs, what you believed 15 years ago is not necessarily what you believe now. So I wanted to question myself. So I believe that kids deserve our trust. I believe that kids need to feel a belonging in a community. I believe that kids need to be supported when they are taught things. Choice speaks to our identity as humans. And students deserve time to develop, make mistakes, fail, and learn. And I felt like I wasn't really doing that enough. So I thought about myself as an artist. And I thought, when I learned something, when I wanted to learn something in art, what came first? Was it the skill, like I teach students, first? Or was it that passion? And it was certainly the passion. I remember when I was first interested in photography, there were pictures that I saw that I wanted to create. So I had to learn the skill of the camera. I had no choice. But because I was so passionate about it, I was able to learn all that technical stuff that was really kind of hard for me to do. So I could get wonderful artwork by giving teacher-directed projects. I could. I had wonderful, wonderful images that children made. But just because I could get them to do that, should I? Was it really important that I do that? So I'll never forget where I even was at the moment. I thought, what do I really want? If I want one thing for all of my students, I want them to be creative. I want them to leave me and be creative in life no matter what they do. So I started looking around. And in my classroom, there was Catherine Douglas's book. It had been sitting there for 10 years. I had never even picked it up and looked at it. So I did. And I'd been hearing about T.A.B. So I looked at that and I thought, this is what I want to do. Now I'm close to the end of my teaching career at the time. So I'm like, do I really want to throw all this up and make all these big changes? But I thought, if I am here and I'm doing this, I want to do something important. I want to do something that's meaningful for kids. So I did, and I got my support from my principal, and I read everything I could, and I read Catherine Douglas and Diane's book, and I decided that this is what I want to do. So I realized, of course, I fixed my room, but you have to have more than just a room. And one of the things that I realized in the years that I taught T.A.B. was that it was very important for my kids to have a three-pronged approach, and that would be routines, reflection, and authentic choice. If one of those things is missing, then it's not going to work. If you don't have strong routines, if you don't have, honest reflection in different places of their learning, it's not going to be meaningful for them or for you. Your job as a teacher will be to organize those spaces, and the teacher feeds and organizes materials to the studios. The teacher does teach basic skills, and you have to do that. You can't just let kids sit in there and run amok. There has to be very structured for it to really actually work, I have found, at least in my case. So, let me see here. Hold on. I'm trying to find exactly what I need to be telling you guys, because I'm going through a little thing that I've done here. Hold on. Wish I could pause this, but I can't. This is what I remind students. I trust them that they can come up with ideas. I trust that they can experiment thoughtfully. I trust that they know how to use and take care of tools. I trust that they can work through problems. I trust that they will work peacefully around others. I trust that they can work independently and clean up independently. I trust all of these things because I have taught them those things. And I reteach those things. I used to. I reteach those things every single year, at the beginning of every single year. They need to be retaught. And my trust is automatic to kids unless they prove me wrong. And if I'm proven wrong by a student, only that student has consequences, because I felt very strongly about that. So what I think is this. This is why I think that you should consider this. Choice teaches how to find ideas instead of being fed ideas. And kids find relationships with materials that are so unconventional. And conversations are artist to artist and not teacher to student. And that is so exciting for you. I loved that, and I miss that. I really do miss that. Students do work that's important to them, so they're excited about it. And then that makes me excited too. Students do not compare themselves to others because they are working on different problems. So every kid shines, because I believe every single kid has an ability, every kid can shine in some way, and they do. It may take a while. I had a kid for a whole year. He just kind of went from studio to studio, but the last year, he was a printmaker. I found out he was a printmaker, and he could hang his hat on that, leaving my school. Kids are excited to learn a skill so that they can follow through with an idea. And kids have time to become confident with the skills they learn. They not only learn vocabulary, but they are given the environment to actually use it. And that's different. Every day, there are problem solvers, critical thinkers, engineers, and inventors. And that's what you see. And that's why you should do it. My kids loved the T.A.B. classroom, and I loved it too. It's a lot of work when you're in there, and you have to be very strong about your routines and say over and over your phrases, the phrases that you say to kids that are important, what you want them to do. And if something isn't going right, you figure out what you can do different to make it be right. I think it's important in this world. I feel that students often are not working from their own agency, but out of a desire to please, or worse, out of fear of failing. And we put kids in the position every day. I mean, as they're learning, being a learner is a scary, uneasy place to be. And that is where students are every single day. And I wanted to be a joyous teacher, and I knew that I needed to be a learner as well. And being a T.A.B teacher, you are continually learning. And you get to know your students so well. It is just absolutely wonderful. So it's hard work. And you need to look at it and see, do you really want to do this? And you need to set things in place, and you need also to talk to kids and make sure they want to do it. They will. And, set it up for them so that they cannot fail. So I wish you wonderful luck, and it's an exciting time. And I miss it. I love being retired, but I do miss it. It's meaningful work. It's meaningful work that you do. It's hard work that you do. And in many ways, it's thankless. But we have all these kids that are thankful to us and their parents as well. So I wish I could be with you. There are so many things to say, so many things to get into, and this is just simply I think you should try it, and I'm sure there will be other workshops and other ways for you to do learning, because the community is gigantic now, and that's great for you. So I wish you the best of luck, and have a great summer, and have a wonderful beginning of your school year. And if any of you need any help from me, I'm a phone call away, and I've been helping some teachers in the city and other schools as well. And I think Beth will talk to you about how I have assessed kids, because I think that's gigantic. Kids have to be responsible for certain things, for certain learning. I mean, we have to do that. But the biggest learning is what happens in those studios, and that one-to-one relationship that you have with those kids, because they trust you and they see you as an artist as well. So the best of luck to all of you. Bye-bye.